Sir, up to this we covered very clearly about try and except keywords. Now I'm ready to go for next keyword. Very important keywords are finally block. Okay, finally this keyword we are going to discuss. Sir, just observe, have a look once. Very important, sir. Sir, I'm taking try block. Within the try block, just open DB connection. Can you please open database connection? I'm taking. Next, read the data from database. Read data from database, and then close DB connection. Can you please close DB connection? Like this I'm taking. Sir, next and after that, except block is there. Okay, except now the corresponding handling code I'm taking, sir. Okay, like, sir, do you know, open DB connection, read the data from the database. What is the third line? Can you please read this, sir? Close database connection. Closing database connection, this code is called a resource deallocation code. Are you getting what is this code, sir? A resource deallocation. We are releasing the resources. A resource deallocation code. Sometimes we can use the word cleanup code. Remember this one. This code is also known as cleanup code, right? Okay, resource deallocation code or cleanup code. Now the point is, can you please tell, placing cleanup code inside a try block, is it recommended or not recommended? Yes, friends, I'm taking a resource cleanup code. Okay, cleanup code I'm taking inside try block. Is it recommended or not recommended? Okay, the answer, not recommended. What is the problem? Why this code we can't place here? What the problem is? Suppose observe, I open DB connection successfully. While reading data from the database, there is a problem came, sir. There is a problem. Some error, DB error came. If the DB error came, immediately the control will goes to accept a block without executing this one. So without executing this, the control will goes to accept block means, do you know, no one is going to close the DB connection. One database connection is going to be wasted. Correct or not? One DB connection is going to be wasted. So that's why never recommended to take cleanup code inside a try block, because there is no guarantee for the execution of every statement present inside try block. Sir, before this line only exception came. Even you handled that exception, but this line is not going to execute. That's why resource deallocation code, cleanup code, never recommended to place inside the try block. Is it clear, right? Now observe the second scenario. Here I'm taking try block, open DB connection, open DB connection. Next, read data from the database. Read data from the database. Next, here I'm taking accept a block, close DB connection. Accept a block, close DB connection. Oh, now observe this. So cleanup code, where we are taking inside accept block. Resource deallocation code, where we are taking inside accept block. Can you please tell, is it recommended or not recommended? Yes, friend, it's a two worst, not recommended. Because the reason is, if there is no exception in the try block, no exception, then accept block won't be executed. If accept block not executed, who is going to close the DB connection? No one is going to close. That's why, so never recommended to maintain cleanup code inside accept block, because if there is no exception, accept block won't be executed. Is it clear for all of you, right? Sir, observe very carefully. Never recommended to maintain cleanup code inside try block, because there is no guarantee for execution of every statement inside a try block. never recommended to maintain cleanup code inside except block, because if there is no exception, then except block is not going to execute. Okay, so where I have to place cleanup code? Okay, to maintain cleanup code, compulsory some place must be required, which should be executed always, irrespective of whether exception raised, not raised, handled or not handled. Sir, in any case, that place should be executed. Such a type of best place is nothing but finally block. Remember this one, sir. Such a type of best place is nothing but finally block. Finally block meant for resource deallocation code maintenance sake. So inside finally block, which code we are going to take? Resource deallocation code, cleanup code we have to take. Any doubt up to this? Are you in the position to understand, right? So what is the purpose of finally block? To maintain cleanup code. Okay, well, sir, now observe the syntax, right? Here try, okay. Next up, within the try, which code we have to take inside try block? Risky code we have to take inside try, risky code. Next, except inside except block, which code we have to take? Handling code. Regarding inside except block, handling code. Next, inside finally block, which code we have to take? Cleanup code. Okay, cleanup code. Now, so three blocks, three purposes. So purposes are completely different. Try, so to maintain risky code. Except block, to maintain handling code. Finally block, to maintain cleanup code. Next, what is the specialty of finally block? Very, very important, sir. Finally block specialty is it will be executed always, irrespective of whether exception raised, not raised, handled, not handled. Sir, in any case, finally block is always going to execute. Finally is the believable place to maintain cleanup code. Are you in the position to understand? Just have a look once. Here, finally block, it's not recommended to place cleanup code, resource reallocation code like a closing database connection inside a try block, because there is no guarantee for execution of every statement inside a try block. Next, it is not recommended to place cleanup code inside except block, because if there is no exception, then except block won't be executed. Okay, well, sir, now hence we required some place to maintain cleanup code, which should be executed always, irrespective of whether exception raised or not raised, and whether exception handled or not handled. Such a type of best place is nothing but what? Finally block. Okay, well, sir, hence the main purpose of finally block is to maintain cleanup code. Very, very important, sir. What is the purpose of finally block? To maintain cleanup code. Now observe the possible syntax. Here have a look once, sir. So try risky code, inside except block handling code, inside finally block cleanup code. The specialty of finally block is it will be executed always, irrespective of whether exception raised or not raised, and whether exception handled or not handled. In any case, finally block will be executed. Clear, right? What is the purpose of finally block? Next, what is the specialty of finally block? Any doubt? Sir, up to this, it is very clear what is the purpose of finally block, what is the specialty of finally block. The purpose of finally block is to maintain cleanup code. The specialty of finally block is it will be executed always, irrespective of whether exception raised, not raised, handled or not handled, right? In any case, sir, finally block is always going to execute. Sir, where is the proof? Can you please explain with examples like you may ask? Observe carefully, right? Sir, I want to take multiple cases. Case 1. Case 1. If there is no exception, okay, in this case, finally block will be executed or not. Okay, let me check. Sir, here I am taking try block, print of try block, print of try. Next, except block, print of except I am taking. Next, finally print finally, like this I'm taking, sir. Print finally. Can you please tell what is the output we will get if I run this code? Yes, response. What is the output we are going to get? In this case, yes, first try will be printed. Next, there is no exception. If there is no exception, except block is not going to execute. So finally will be executed, sir. Sir, try followed by finally will be executed. It's a very clear. If there is no exception, then finally block will be executed. Correct, right? Sir, have a look once. Let me execute this code. Sir, the same thing only. Here I have try, print, try block. Next, accept zero division error, print of except. Finally, sir, like this, finally block. Let me execute this code. Have a look once. What is the answer by default we are going to get is try followed by finally perfectly. If there is no exception, finally block will be executed. Is it clear for all of you, right? Any doubt about this one? Okay, well, let me take a second case. Sir, exception raised, but handled, no problem at all. Sir, case 2 I'm taking. Observe, case 2. Okay, my second case is, sir, if exception raised and handled. If exception raised and handled, sir. If exception raised and handled, what is the output? Very simple. Observe carefully. Try. Sir, print of try block I'm taking. Print of try. Next, print of 10 by 0. Sir, exception got raised. Zero division error is going to come. Now, sir, accept 0 division error. Accept 0 division error I'm getting. Sir, here print of accept block. Print of accept block. Next, finally print of finally I'm taking. Print of finally. Can you please confirm what is the output we are going to get? Sir, very simple. If an exception raised but handled, the corresponding except block is available. What is the flow? What is the output, sir? Very simple. Here try will be printed. Here an exception got raised. Immediately the control will goes to except block. Inside except block, yes, accept like it's going to execute, and after that finally block will be continued normally. That's all. Are you getting? So if exception raised and handled, compulsory finally block is going to execute. Is it clear, right? Sir, let me execute this combination also. Here try print of try block. Sir, just a print of 10 by 0 I'm taking. Print of 10 by 0 I'm taking, sir. Sir, observe a bit very carefully. So first try will execute. Here an exception got raised. Now this is the corresponding except block. Now it is going to be executed, and then finally block will be continued normally. So try except finally is the output we are going to get, sir. Now observe carefully. What the answer we are getting? Try except finally. This is the answer we are going to get, sir. Okay, well, sir, now the next thing what I have to discuss, very important point, sir. What is the remaining case? Can you please explain? Yes, boss. No exception. Next, if exception raised and handled, what is the remaining case? If an exception raised but not handled. An exception raised but not handled. Okay, sir. Now case 3. Observe carefully. If exception raised but not handled, if exception raised but not handled, what will happen? Finally block is going to execute or not? Sir, observe, try print of try block I'm taking. Print of try. Next, print of 10 by 0 I'm taking, sir. Print of 10 by 0. Oh, 0 division error is coming. Sir, here I'm taking except block. Sir, here value error. Except block, value error I'm taking. Now print of except, print of except. Next finally print of finally block. Print of finally block like. Can you please confirm what is the output we are going to get, sir? Very, very important. So exception raised, right? Exception got raised, but not handled because zero division error came, but available except block is for value error. Zero division error, but available except block is what? Value error. Okay, very, very important point, sir. So now the important conclusion here is, suppose you are getting heart problem, but available doctor is high specialist is available. There is no, he can't handle the situation. The same, sir. Now try will be printed. Zero division error riser, but there is no except block, abnormal termination. But before abnormal termination, finally block will be executed. Remember this one. That's why. So try followed by finally, and then so abnormal termination, zero division error will be raised. Abnormal termination, zero division error by default will be raised. So everyone in the position to understand, right? So what is the purpose of, so here finally block, what is the specialty of finally block? Even in the case of abnormal termination also, finally block will be executed. First finally block, and then abnormal termination is going to be happen. Okay, have a look once here. So try, print of try. So print of 10 by 0, print of here value error. Are you getting? Print of value error like this I'm taking, sir. Can you please confirm what is the answer we are going to get? Okay, here see this one, first try will be printed normally. Here so zero division error is coming, but there is no corresponding except block. If there is no corresponding except block, it is always abnormal termination. But before abnormal termination, finally block will be executed. Only finally block will be executed. Now observe carefully what answer we are going to get, sir. Yes, try finally, and then zero division error, abnormal termination. So that's all. These three cases are very important to describe the specialty of finally block. Have you observed? If there is no exception, finally executed. Next, if an exception raised, handled, finally executed. If an exception raised but not handled, abnormal termination, but before abnormal termination, finally got executed. So clear proof, finally is always going to execute irrespective of whether exception raised, not raised, handled or not handled. That is the specialty of finally block. Clear, right? So everyone got the clarity. What is finally block? So what is the specialty of finally block? Any explanation is required? Clear?